Alright, it's Zhen here, and for today's topic, we're going to talk about arranging financing. So this topic is for you if you are currently interested to go into become a developer or want to develop a project. Maybe you already have a business that can generate a large amount of cash flow for you, or you already have a lot of capital, so that's very easy for you. But what if for people, if you are lack of capital but you want to develop a project? So that's what Robert T. Kiyosaki always he prefer is when he come into doing his real estate business, he like to use OPM, which means other people money. So when you are very confident that you want to develop a project, everything else, and you know the market well, so you have the experience, you have the people you can rely on, and then you want to build the project. So in this situation, maybe you can consider to get some finance, what you call get some loan, which means that you can get some money from bank or the people, your investor, everything else. So but before you can get the money, but actually you need to arranging your financing well. So how you go and get your finance well so that you can get the capital that you want to develop the project you really want to invest. So first, when you come into real estate development, you will need some initial equity. Actually, you need to put your own money into it also, because when you want to get the capital from someone else, you want to get from bank or the lender, they need to see your confidence also. Then yourself have to have some money to put into it, so that you can let the people know you are serious about your project and you are confident that the project you want to build will be success in the future, and then it sure will be earning money. So when you come into want to get the finance, get the loan, normally initially you need to put about 10 to 25% in. Is possible for you if you had that kind of money in the project, so that you can get the rest of money more easily for you, because you can put some deposit on it. So when you come into loan, I know that in our world there's a lot of banks you can rely on, but always shop for the best loan possible, because you're gonna compare all the loan about the interest rate, the money you can loan, even though the deposit also, because for normally the lender or the bank you want to lend actually need minimum about 10 to 12% as starting point for you. You want to make the loan, everything else, yeah, especially for you if you are the first time borrower. So because the interest rate maybe will be higher than the people others, but actually you can go and shop, and then you can compare a lot, you can compare, so that you can get a much more lender for you. So because you need to go and survey and you need to compare, because every lender has different policy and procedure you can follow, because not just about the bank, it's also the outside financing institute, anything else you can consider, but you need to compare and need to calculate first before you move, or you can get the cash or the capital from the investor you want to invest. So first, when you come talk about finance, you gotta understand what financial institution want. So actually, they want is first you're gonna have a good reputation from a solid track record and equity to fund a deal, so they can feel confident or return on their money. And normally they will have your credit score, you have your good reputation, and then you have some equity, and then the asset that you can put into the loan. So the next is you need to provide them with your tax return and financial statement as well. So your business that currently you can generate, and then you can let them know that you can pay back their loan. So normally when we come about real estate development, the project you want to show the proposal to the lender you want, actually you need to provide the property address, then the unique mix how many units you want to build. And then the next is a physical description, and then the next is the acquisition price, and then the next is a construction budget showing the amount of money you want to borrow, and the next is the financial breakdown of your project. You need to show them the numbers, everything else. So the next step, after you survey all the lender institute that you want to loan, so the next thing is you're gonna figure cost of interest. You need to know the money you're gonna lend, you're gonna borrow the money, you're gonna know their interest, how much interest you're gonna pay. You need to calculate the interest first before you go and sign the loan and get the loan, because it will affect your profitability. Or maybe if the interest rate is 6%, you're gonna calculate it, how much the interest you need to pay back. And one advice you always need to remember when it comes to real estate development, because you gonna stick in your head, is always borrow more money than you believe you need. You borrow more. More is better than less, because when you come into real estate development, sure will have some accidentally case happen, so you need more cash to cover. But you need to get the cash first before you last minute go and apply the loan, because if you apply and then you get the loan, the next loan you want to apply, you will spend more money, because this is to avoid the additional cost, fees, delays involved in putting together to the additional loan that you want to go and apply for the money you actually need. You always need to remember that everything takes longer than you think. Always give yourself more time than your lender might initially suggest when you come into want to get the loan and everything else. Because developing real estate is really a financial matter that takes a lot of time and energy for the developers. You have to come up with more money than you started with. This always need to remember that you need more money to development. So when you come into you want to go and seek out, and then you want to meet the lender institute during the financial interview process, you're gonna look for an interest party who will give you constructive criticism based on experience. Maybe you will face the mortgage broker will help you. Maybe you need to find a mortgage broker actually will give you the advice, not just about go and seek out and then just help you to do the loan and then just get their fee and their commission. You need to find the people who will help you and still give you criticize if something will happen to you, and it will let you know, telling you the truth. So the next is you're gonna sell what you own. Don't change what you own, because when you want to build a project, you're gonna be confident with your project. So you're gonna assemble a professional presentation to the people that to get the loan to lend money for you. So how you can prepare your presentation actually is you need to prepare some questions you need to ask, and then the market analysis, everything else. So the one person from this book is really recommend for you is a local realtor can be your best friend in the regard, because they have the information as well as historical data that's critical to your becoming a successful developer. And then experienced realtor who have presented many new and experienced developers have a wealth of knowledge to share. They know that what is offered in the market as standard and feature the competitors. They know what works and doesn't work. They know what others have done to make a project successful. So you're going to find that realtor or real estate agent that can help you through this process. And then the next is you always remember is every element of every real estate development project must have a financial justification, because you need to know what you want to build. You need to know that your money, what you're going to do with your money. So that's better you look for the professional in your area and look at their resume to choose the specialization in category of development you are doing, because having information from an expert in your field when you put together your presentation package is crucial. when you have the professional and then you know all the market study is, for example, is CCIM can help you to the people who will really know the market, the project you need to build, and then they have these people together with your presentation, so it will be much more powerful. You can get the money, can get the loan from the other. So the first is when you come into your presentation, or if you that's better, you have your public speaking skill, and then you're gonna state that what you want to present. The first is your experience, second is your architect, and then your property zoning, your property survey, then your plans for the property, the budget that you want, projected development chronology, and ultimate leasing or sales price. Then the next is the anticipated profit. You can state in your presentation everything to let the people know, maybe your presentation slide and everything else. So never forget, you also need to include an exit strategy, because you need to have the full scope of from the beginning and then the middle and last, how you're gonna do if something happen. Is it any exit place for you to look at it and then gonna do. So when you come into presentation, you need to, brevity in presentation is a skill you should master. So you need to have your presentation skill, you need to have the skill of public speaking. So if you don't want to be done alone, maybe sometimes when presenting, you may have another expert with you, such as your architect, construction supervisors, or your realtor as well, can together with you can go to do the presentation. No matter you want to present for the bank, to the lender institute, or the investor you want to get involved together also. So when you come into getting the loan, sure, it will have interest, right? You need to pay the interest for the people who are lending you the money. So there's some way they can make the interest more interesting. The first is you can use a interest reserve, which means that maybe the normal way people go and loan the money and borrow the money, you need to pay the interest accordingly every month, interest. But you can go and talk to the term with the lender you want to lend the money. Interest reserve, which means that you pay at last. You don't need to pay your interest earlier every month like that, but you accumulate it to the last after you finish all your project, so that you pay them lump sum like that. So this is the case that you can consider and go and talk with your lender. The next is you need to always be aware the interest clock. You need to know that the amount money that you already borrow from someone else. You need to know the time frame that you're gonna finish your project. You will pay them back. You need to be careful when using your skill, because OPM, other people money, is like a knife. It can help you to do all the things you can put, but always need to be careful to use it, because you will cut our hand also. So know that the time frame you need to pay back for the people. So the next is, if you have the skill that you can get, it's not just about the lender but also the investor. So funding every expenses from the lenders, the more lenders are invested in the deal, the more of the partner there, because the investor mean they don't let them abandon the property, which means that if you have a few lenders together, so they sure will watch up you and then do the project you want to do. So you need to take care of yourself as well as your supplier also. So the next is what we call about the construction. You need to face on the construction when you have your money, and then when you do the construction part, you're gonna make sure that you won't pay your construction or the people straight away all the money. You need to pay them part by part. How many percent they need for the first, maybe 10%, then you pay them 10%, they finish, then you pay the next. You need to pay them part by part, not just straight away pay them all, because this will control them, can wash on your shoulder. If anything happen, you stop then, and then you can pay to another contractor that can help you to build. If anything they build the wrong thing, anything else, because you're gonna not just about construction but also the title company to know, because you're gonna get some just to the bank recashing the dollar that you're looking for, but also the title company, because the title company, you make sure you not lien a place in the property before they protect the lender to register the form for you. You need to pay to the title company to search for the place that you want to build also. So one thing is, when you talk about construction, you deal with the contractor, you need to, the waiver of lien that you must require and request with every payout must encompass 2 areas, which means that when your contractor receive a partial payment, you need to let them sign the waiver of lien, because you're going to make sure that you already pay them. The next, after they done all the job, you need to get them sign the final waiver of lien also to indicate the lien that has been paid in full, because this will help you to, in case anything happen, they just talk about you that no pay their money, everything else. Actually you can have it black and white to give you much more safer. So the real key when you come into real estate development, you're gonna getting enough money and allowing yourself enough time to complete the development is very important for you. So always get more money than what you really need. Get some money, go and spare. You can put it other place, and actually it can easily for you to get out of cash so that you can go and build your project. So last and not least, there's some tips you can have, some important secret you still can remember when you come into considering to making a real estate deal work as the follow. First is, you're gonna pay the best acquisition price. In most deals, the profit is made on the purchase price. Maybe the land that you want to purchase, you're gonna purchase in the right price. Second, you're gonna determine your proposed use for the property in the beginning. Third, you can choose a right location for your specific use. This must be the right for your use. Fourth, you can create a quality team that includes the following, not necessarily in the order presented. For example, the team that you need is architect, builder, contractor, managing agent, real estate broker, accountant, lawyer. These are the key people you need to. Number 5 is gonna fix a timetable, a schedule, set it up, stick to it, especially during period of high interest rate. Number 6, you can advertise but not over advertise. There's money down the drain because the market moves at its own pace. 7, be upfront with investor. Get adequate capital in your initial offering. It's difficult to go back to your original investor and ask for more money later. So get more cash, because if you have more cash in your hand after you've done the project, maybe some extra you can pay back to them also as well. So these are the few tips you can look at, so you can have some listen. So when we come into using OPM, other people's money, always remember, use it wisely and you know what you want to do. So this is for today. Hope you like it and you learn it. So see you. Bye.